you're playing BAP here. We're in Plat at the moment, and you're finding you're struggling against the sniper and the dive stuff, and here we're going to
Yep.
get some snipers. So we'll talk through that. Your positioning obviously does evolve based on what you're playing a bit. Like we talk about general good BAP positioning, but we can adjust that. We can change when we can peek, etc. when we're playing against that. Because while we're a good poke hero, obviously there are better poke heroes, and they are scary.
Yes. They're not really poke heroes. They're more jab.
Okay.
Hello.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Okay, so you're looking for your poke there. You can play on this newsstand here. You'll have to drop because you recognize what the threats on the other team are. You know I don't like this. What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, we both saw it. We don't need to talk about it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Barriers.
Mm-hmm. Nothing too wild here. I'm a little surprised that we didn't go, hey, let's go get some more damage on this ball.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're choosing to play a far angle over here. This is a little tricky because you've been separated in such a way that it's hard to heal people from here. Like
It's very hard to hit the shots here.
So at this point you're sort of in a, okay, well you've got to try to heal your Zarya. It's a tough one, but you can do it. That's a lot of you not healing for what the situation is. So you're over here, and you're like, hey, my Sigma's at half. I do a single, a double, a triple, a quadruple, 5 shots, 6 shots, 7 shots.
Yeah.
That's 7 shots with like both of your tanks. Are like, hey, can we have some of that Healy goodness? And your answer is no. No, you may not.
Yeah. So one of the things, so I know like when you're down a player, that's when you like need to try and make something happen, and like that's when you want to try and like accelerate the rhythm, sort of. And so I guess that's kind of what I was thinking here.
So here's the thing: like, if the fight is even, like truly even, perhaps you need to make something happen to win the fight. If you're behind in the fight, you need to make something unusual or extreme happen to turn the fight. If you're ahead in the fight, you can sort of just play standard. If you're neutral in the fight, you might be able to play standard. We don't know. But if you're ahead in the fight, you should be able to play sort of standard to minimize risks, is sort of what
Yeah.
the idea that you're getting at here. And if we were to look at this and go, hey, let's rewind a little.
Yeah.
I feel like we're behind in this fight. That's fine. We can. I can accept that. I feel like we're behind in this fight. We've lost our Genji. We don't have great positioning. Fine with me. So you can play to go, I need to make something happen. But something can't just be pressure. Pressure is pretty standard, except it's standard wrong in this case. If you're going, I need to actually really try to eliminate this Echo, or I need to really try to eliminate this Mercy or something, that could be trying to make something happen. That could be, I'm going to take a greater risk and seek of a greater reward. But just like, I'm going to pressure harder with damage and sort of spread it out, that's not really going to make anything happen more so. Like, that's just more pressure on the enemy team, and you put pressure on the enemy team, we're extending definitions of words here a bit, but you put pressure on the enemy team by shooting at them and by healing your team. But like, making something happen would be more, hey, we forced an elimination on them, or we really got someone critical and made them back off, etc. This is kind of standard. It's just a standard lean. Like, I don't actually see in this right here, like, okay, you're on the Echo. I guess you are on the Echo the whole time. You are on the Echo the whole time. You're just not.
You just need to hit shots.
Well, it would help. It would help. But I'm going to be honest, like, hitting shots would help. But, like, I'm going to eliminate an Echo that's pocketed. I mean, that was always a bit of a sell. And I look at this and go, it's not that hard. It's a little hard to hit stuff over there. But it's not that hard to hit your right clicks on this Sigma over there. He's a relatively big target. You're not going to be hitting directs, but you can probably hit right clicks on him. And I look at this and go, you just have to do the calculation of, am I going to do better putting pressure onto this pocketed Echo? Because yes, if I start shooting at this Echo, I probably need to commit to eliminating her. Or am I going to do better going, it's moderately difficult, like it's hard to eliminate this Echo, or it's medium to heal my Sigma and weave damage onto this ball. And even if you're behind one in this fight, like I don't think you actually have a good I don't think you have a real chance of taking down this Echo. That's not to say it's impossible. It's definitely possible. This Echo doesn't have good cover, and yes, I have, I've played with Sigmas who would absolutely decimate this Echo in this spot, but your sort of standard play would be, nope, I'm going to heal my team out of this instead. Even when your team also has the Ana here, you'd look to heal them out of this and just get sort of your general damage on this. Like, you're not wrong to go, hey, I could potentially want to make a play happen to get us into this fight, but that only matters if you don't lose someone. If you can make that play quick enough and you're just not here.
Okay.
Cool.
You all look like you needed some healing.
And then we get here. You're sort of in this situation of, okay, you see this, and I think what's going on here is you're thinking maybe still in this I want to make something happen mode. You're thinking, I want to shoot at the ball because the ball's weak. I think that's what's going on here.
Yeah.
But I don't actually want you here because you're having to open yourself up to additional threats by going here. You follow what I'm saying? So I'm looking at this and going, like, okay, I don't want to fight two threats at once. I want to squeeze myself back here and go here, because then instead of having to deal with this group shooting at me and this group shooting at me, or the potential of this group shooting at me and the potential of this group shooting at me, I don't have a way to only make this group shoot at me, right? I don't have a way to close the angle on these guys unless I drop and go down here, which I guess you could do. So I'd prefer to go, hey, even if ball is the hero I want to be shooting at right now, at this point, I want you shooting at the Echo or the Mercy. And the reason I want that is because you can close the angle. It's tough, but you can close the angle on these guys. You can't close the angle on these guys without transitioning across to here. And I don't really want you to fight these guys head on because there's a Widow. Like, we don't want that. So, like, we don't want to go, oh, I'm trying to fight both at once. We want to go, I'm projecting influence into one thing at a time. Like, even if, oh, it's a target-rich environment, there's 6 different heroes or 5 different heroes I can shoot at. Well, I can only shoot at one of them at a time, so let me limit the number of ones that can shoot at me, is how we want to do this.
Gotcha.
You all look like you needed some healing. Get in here.
You tried.
Yep.
So, you're back here. Let's go back a little further. You're doing your thing. I don't know why you wandered. Oh, you wandered out here because you want to go to the high ground. The high ground's okay. The high ground's okay. I don't love this high ground because this high ground is sort of getting you a little... It's not great cover, as we talked about with this here. And it's sort of like, now you're fighting from the side. You're like fighting from the side when you would prefer an angle that's a little more behind, right? Like from behind, you still have targets. With BAP, you're not super interested in, let me get on the optimal target with my weapon. You're interested in, let me get on the optimal target with my healing, and let me get damage out on whatever I can, whatever's convenient. Like BAP, you're sort of like, yes, if I was coaching a trials level BAP player, I would harp on them for not being on the right target with their flicks. But sub trials, I'm not going to, because the reality is you're in a situation where you go, I want to get my heals on the right players, and then I just generically want to get damage out on the rest of the, on the opponents there without slowing down my outgoing heals. And this isn't great for that, because when you're at this angle, it's sort of like you're not as well protected. You sort of have this like, hey, I have to get bigger flicks. It's not amazing.
Yeah. I played a game on Blizzard World later last night. Yeah, this is just kind of a result of that positioning, right?
I don't know why you punched her, but yeah. Yeah. Like, if you're back here, it's a little easier to have yourself covered. It's a little easier to have that. You can play Ring Around the Rosie with her. You can get the Mega. Yeah, you got it. Here, you're in more danger. Like we talked about, I don't want to see the whole fight. I want to see my teammates and 1 or 2 opponents I can shoot at.
Yeah. God, this map is so hard to find good cover like that. I'm not a fan of this map.
Not a fan of this map, but there's spots. Like there's spots. Like it didn't make sense in this situation, but like this is generally a good map spot. You couldn't do it when the Widow was standing right here, but like this is generally a good spot. This would have been an acceptable spot. This has its moments. Yeah.
It was nice to hear Aaron mention the map creep, sort of, where he said that maps have gotten bigger.
Yep.
Which has made for a worse experience, whereas like King's Row, things are pretty tight there.
Sure.
And people like it. So
sure.
I'm glad to hear that that's the direction they'll be going with maps.
Yeah, I mean, I think King's Row is a good map. I don't think it's the absolute best map, like most of our Overwatch community seems to, but that's good. I do think that it's good that they recognize that because we've seen, hey, why are you guys like most of the new maps aren't as popular as the original map. So like it's good that they recognize that and are trying to go back to basics.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we're here. Let's do this one more time.
Over here.
You walk out, you have your window, you decide that you're in this fight, you decide to go for like that, beautiful, and then you're going to shoot at the Falcon Mercy because nothing better to do, and she's purple, and you see the Widow, and you're going to continue to fight the Mercy, and now your next shot is probably going to be on the Widow because you've got nothing better to do. That's not the Widow. And now you've got to close the angle.
And I wanted her.
I know, but think about how much damage you do against a Widow that's basically standing still. Like double damage against a Widow that's standing still because they're scoped. Oof, beautiful.
I can take her on with window.
Especially because she wasn't looking at you. But yeah.
What is that melody?
Okay, that's easy peasy. Why are you here?
I think what I was thinking is I didn't realize the Widow had dropped. And so I didn't want to stay on that angle there. I wanted to try and get like behind the cart.
That makes less sense to me. Like I'm not walking across this. If my crosshair isn't trained in shooting at the Widow, I'm not walking across this while the Widow's still up here. Like this just feels dangerous. I might go, hey, maybe I change my angle or something, but I'm not walking through the open if I think the Widow is still up here. That's too dangerous. I actually would have just said like for pretty much any of these situations, either stay here or if you feel like there's just too much pressure here, too much heat, you could really change your angle to here. You're not that interested in stopping the card. I mean, maybe you're going out here because you're going to then pop up to here, which could be better. Huh. Okay.
Reaching up.
Barriers out of existence.
And then here I got really worried that Ball was going to boop us off and
so
force
you
a
chose
C9.
to go make Ball even more valuable by getting in there yourself? Oh no, good. Okay. Except that you're here, other than that part. Yep, I was waiting for that Widow shot.
Thankfully she's bad.
Oof. Yeah. Okay. So again, this is because your positioning is what it is. Like you go, I'm going to go up here. And it's like, okay. And I understand the Ball. You're definitely not going to lose the card anymore, right? Like your Zarya standing on top of it, like you're good. But then you go here where you're in the open for her. She doesn't hit her headshot, but she's going to get a body shot on you, and then Ball finishes you.
Yeah.
And again, you guys had better control before. You had your Widow just shown up here. You had your Zarya on point, your Sigma around here, you here, your Ana over here. Look at all that map control you had, and you're just like, nope, I want to be over here. But
yeah. Still.
Group up with me. Over here. Group up with me. Over here. I was on.
Barriers unstable.
okay. Okay. I don't know what cover you're gonna play for.
Right here, this
'Kay.
top right area.
Sure.
I wasn't sure where the Widow was, so I was trying to just crouch spam across there.
I don't love you two being on the same exact spot because you both have shots that you can get in each other's ways for, but that's okay. So, like, you know, there is a part of me that is going, can you be here? Can you be here? You haven't played from here yet. So, like,
That feels so scary against
against
a
the
Widow.
Widow. I know, but you haven't played from here yet. Like, if you'd been playing from here, sure, but you sort of get like a first time advantage, unknown angle advantage type thing where that's not the first place her crosshair is going to go to. I get it. I get it. It's scary.
So I think against a Widow, I find it just so hard to manage risk and like being able to do damage and also being safe. Like,
Sure. Sure.
yeah.
Well, the difference is you're different types of heroes. Like you're a hero that's about pressure, like I mentioned, right?
Mhm.
Like you're about, hey, I prop up my team with heals that makes them last a fair amount of time. I put pressure on the other team to make them last less amount of time. I win through a buildup of pressure, and that pressure converts into a win. She is a hero that is like, nope, we're doing this all at once for value because her sustain is not good. Like her sustain is not good. She's looking for that. So you really just need to go, hey, I'm going to play when she can't. Like I'm going to play where she can't and then when she's busy. Like you just need to have a better understanding of who on my team is tying up Widow. Is anyone on your team tying up Widow?
Our Widow.
Yeah, you guys have a Widow,
Presumably.
you guys have a Genji. Okay, those are both things that could be tying up Widow. So you go, when can I peek? Well, I can peek when I see, here are the times that I can probably reasonably peek. If my Widow takes a shot, it's probably pretty likely that the other Widow is going to rotate their crosshair to where my Widow is shooting from for a moment, right?
Okay, yeah.
If I see a shot go towards my Widow, or if I see, towards my Widow, that's also a pretty good indication that, hey, their Widow is on my Widow right now, and she's either going to stay on my Widow, or she's going to go behind cover so that she doesn't get counter-sniped for a second or two, right?
Gotcha. Yes.
If you see your Genji, going up through, because you can see him through walls, going up there, and you see him in the back line, etc., like,
Doing Genji things.
well, he's probably going to get on the Widow, right? So, like, you can try to play around that time. So you're sort of playing, or if you had a Winston, hey, my Winston just leapt deep on high ground somewhere, he's probably tying up the Widow. So you sort of want to use these, or, it could be, hey, if you had to, you can just do my team is out here in the open explosively running at the other team. That's going to, at least for a couple seconds, pull the opposing Widow's eyeballs to it. So you sort of look at your team and go, who's probably trying to type the Widow? Or when do I know the Widow is going to be distracted? And you might not get to do your usual thing of I get to be BAP and I get to, for the 12-second fight, just alternate between some version of damage and heals. You might instead go, I heal from a safe angle, like this one right here that we're at, for 4 seconds, 5 seconds, and then I get to peek, and I only get to be aggressive for 2 to 3 seconds, and then I'm back to doing this defensive thing, and then I see my Winston's back in, so I get to be aggressive for another 2 to 3 seconds, or we've cleaned up the fight, and now I get to stay aggressive, etc. But you're sort of going to have to play more at that tempo. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah. You're probably going to get your lamp forced. Oh boy.
Get in here.
Okay. Definitely fight it. Okay, so this Zaryan ball stayed in on you for a really long time. So we're gonna go back here. Shoot it, good. Shoot it. Unfortunate, we just have to play dancing until the bubble's gone. Shoot it.
Yep.
Okay. shoot the ball. Good. Shoot the ball. Yeah, you don't miss a ton of opportunities to shoot it, but this is a really long time for them to stay in. That's not really on you, though. Okay, I can live with that.
That worked out.
It did. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah, Widow? I'm gonna strafe dodge. This is dope. Oh! 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 You didn't really want to peek out here to do this. You see how you could be one step back? Like here, the Widow can see you, but one step back and you can still be healing just fine. Okay.
Yep.
That's not a big deal.
Should have lamped her there.
Yep, you should have. It's fine.
I thought you needed a head.
This is not a... No! No! Shift, fine. Lamp, okay. And you're going to try and challenge her, but then you see your lamp's gone, so you've got to either drop, or you've got to get through this doorway. You've already got to be respecting this Widow harder, and you've got to get yourself out of this doorway. It doesn't have to be just a hard left out this doorway, because you're right, she's more likely to hit you if you do that, but this is way more dodge, movement, etc. than you need. You want to be getting left harder than this, if that makes sense.
So I did. My thinking was, dance. Hopefully she misses the shot, and then I move because she'll have to recharge her next shot.
Okay. Okay. So like for Widow specifically, so you're trying to force the dodge on the one shot, and then you want to move when she's doing the shot.
That was my thinking, at least.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I don't care if you get hit by a body shot. We're really just trying to avoid the headshot. Like, I understand the thinking, but I look at this, and here we are. You're doing this, which is already a little disrespectful, and you're then going, hey, I'm going to move right, and the right is going to throw her off, don't get me wrong. The right is a good move, but this should immediately be followed by either a stop or a move left. And you really haven't moved. Like, here, let me show you this from a different perspective. I think that's the better thing. You see how your movement there is sort of like, I'm here, I went a little bit here, I went a little bit here. Like, you sort of went the exact same distance in both directions. You're back where you started.
Yeah.
Does your movement really look that hard to hit to you? Like, she missed the shot, so good on you. But, like, that wasn't particularly amazing movement in terms of, like, hey, how we did this. You really are actually trying to go, hey, I'm mostly trying to go in one direction, and I'm working my way in that direction, but I mix in stops, I mix in short double backs. I might do a longer double back, but it's not like I'm constantly trying to slam A and D, or I'm like, I have a set AD distance. That's not so much what you want. It's like, stop, go type thing. Like, crouch, double back, go type thing. Like, we can make this a little bit, we can be a little bit more forceful in this while actually having better dodge.
Okay.
No, I think I forward jumped there.
Good. Amplification matrix charging.
Mercy Res Widow, which
You all look like you
that's here.
I mean, you just separated and kind of dead at this point.
I wasn't really sure if I should have just like inted on cart to die sooner, or
No, not necessarily, because even though you're kind of stuck here, your team wasn't necessarily getting wiped. So you weren't able to support your team, but your team has a bit of a redundancy in that you guys have an Ana right now. So it's
okay.
kind of okay if you to go, I guess I'm just playing as an off-angling DPS for a bit.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's good to know, because I was like, I don't know if I
let them out.
had the right call going with it, or if I should have.
You have to lamp.
But yeah.
Yep.
That
Okay.
ball got greedy.
You did. Okay, so we're done being here. Keep the angle closed on Widow. Keep the angle closed on Widow. Okay.
60 seconds.
No, you can't jiggle peek this quite like that. This is about as far as you get to peek this. No.
Personne n'échappe.
And now you can't peek it at all.
Observe the barrier.
So this is not gonna work. So you're here.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
I was like, well, soldier's
There.
gonna run at me from the right. There's a widow looking at this window.
Oh yeah, you're doomed. So the only thing you can do right now is take left clicks at the Ana or the Zarya. That's the only thing you can do right now. So let's do
Okay.
that. Let's just do that. Like, if I have no good options, this is not a great option, but it's the best of my bad options. This isn't helping.
Get in here.
Yeah. Yeah. This just feels bad because your team is losing. Like, you're feeling like, oh, I can't peek, etc. But the truth is your team's already lost this fight. So you not being able to peek is like, it feels bad, and it's more time that feels bad, but the fight was lost a while ago.
Cool heads. Steady
Okay.
hands. We're
So it
almost
wasn't
there.
a whole lot for me to do differently
here.
there.
Yeah.
Group up with me.
Okay. You gotta love the Zarya into Widow.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Over here. You're fully healed. You all look like you needed some healing.
It's fine.
Get in here.
You do okay.
You messy.
I figured she would
Yep.
possibly die to mines there, so.
Yeah.
Nay.
60 seconds
He's healing.
remaining.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
Merci.
This is a bit brutal. I mean, there's a little more we can do. It's true, but this is just a little brutal in how this snowball fight is going in terms of you have no initiation to play against this widow. This isn't really a yeah, this isn't really a
Need healing.
great situation. You're here, you're trying to figure out windows to be aggressive, but you're...
They've got sights in a
Yeah,
second.
exactly.
too.
60 seconds remaining.
My Ana dies there.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
Merci.
Yeah, that's fine.
He bubbles me when I don't need it.
Yep.
Do I have windowed here to try and kill
No.
them?
Well, yes,
I
but
did-
only because of where the card is and what the fight status
30
is.
seconds remaining.
Like, yes, you should have, because you're not going to get a better opportunity, and it's fairly obvious that you're not going to get a better opportunity.
Gun amplification. Group up with me.
Okay.
Like, you might come out and get the window here, but I would not have been confident that that cart wasn't going to just cap, if you follow what I'm saying. Okay.
Let them up.
Fine.
Too low. Or too
Yeah.
far forward.
Not really.
I walked.
Let them up.
Like, you look at that, and yes, it's going to make it hard to hit headshots, but it's really just too slow, is more it. So, like, we're looking at this, and we're going, hey, let's do this. Let's get our window out.
Let them up.
And it's more just that she's had all the time in the world to miss a shot, go for another one. I don't mind. Like, yes, you could pull it back a little bit more, but after you take her out, you're going to still need to be able to use your window to take them out. So I don't necessarily agree that it's too far forward.
Okay. Yeah. I was walking out of spawn and I was like, I'm gonna get headshot right away, aren't I?
Yeah, basically. But what else can you do? Okay. 3 seconds.
Complete.
I was kind of surprised we held him for that long.
it felt worse than that. But remember, your first hold wasn't actually bad.
Initiating match.
Yeah.
No dying
Ready
on
for
my
battle.
A warrior's greatest
My
weapon
ultimate is charging.
is patience.
Attacker ready for battle.
5. Flight regime activated.
2.
Yeah, like I said, Zarya's a fan favorite in
Yeah,
the metal ranks.
yeah.
Escort the payload.
Focus on the objective. Minimize
All
damage.
better.
Adapt.
Now.
Changing battlefield position.
Okay, you can push cart if you want, I suppose. I just let Tank do it, but if you want to play behind cart, no problem. Be ready to close with the cart. Fine. Okay. This isn't necessarily amazing, but now you're playing as a DPS. Okay. Didn't work.
I don't know. I was thinking like,
No, I mean, it's not the end of the world. You decided to play this as a DPS and it didn't work, and that's unfortunate. Like, you could try to pry things open like that, and I don't even mind, because who else on your team is going to challenge
C'est tant qu'on me
the
voit au monde
Widow?
quand
The
payer
Genji,
ses
sure,
that's what I was thinking.
but
I was like, it's not happening. Something has to get done.
yeah, I'm not
I might
worried.
as well try for it. I was really wanting my Rhine to go underneath the stairs and just force her off of there.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I appreciate it.
You know, we need the rectangle man, I guess.
Okay. I wouldn't necessarily hop there, but okay. No respect for her old perch? You're just like, oh, it's clear?
So I wanted to get up there, but this was my bad map knowledge, and I was against the pillar instead of being able to.
I don't even think you were though when you jumped. Like, I don't even think you touched the pillar. Oh, okay. Maybe you did. Okay. Yeah, I thought that's what you wanted. I'm like, you've jumped twice now, and I just wouldn't recommend as much jumping with the Widow on the map like this. But... Okay. No, you can heal from here. It's fine. Keep the pillar between you and the Widow. She can see you can't back up. Ouch.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. Like, you went to try to go take that, and it actually wasn't even bad to take that. You wanted to stay better on the pillar. You didn't need to drop. And you could have just done your best to keep healing your Rhine from up there effectively. Like, it's weird to be healing behind you to heal him, but if you really have good enough cover, which you did, you can do it.
I expected that they would take longer to get out here, and so I thought a window might be able to secure a kill there.
Sure.
Get in the immortality. Merci.
Can't heal that. Find shots. That was a long time for you to just charge up your boots while not doing anything.
Well, the Zarya went behind the payload there, but I got the first shot in, and then
Do you
I guess
see
I
this there?
should have shot the Mercy.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, here you are,
Yeah.
and it's just like, oh, okay. I'll just do, I mean, there's a Mercy the whole time, yeah.
You merci.
60 seconds remaining.
We're trying, Reinhardt. Okay, now they're just regular double hits again.
Which is less scary.
You don't need to check on the other guy that hard. Like, you need to keep the cart between you and him. But you have the ability, like, there's no question that you have the ability to keep yourself safe standing right here if you have to, right? Like, he's not really compromising you on that. And when this visor's over, you can look back. But that's okay.
30 seconds.
I need healing.
Fire at will.
Good. Good.
I need healing.
10 seconds remaining.
Over here. I appreciate it.
Fine. Let's see if we can keep a little more negative space for you as this goes on.
Hey.
You're just constantly under a little too much pressure, and let's see what we can do about that.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Focus with me.
Regen burst activated. Merci. Let them up.
Огонь по готовности.
What? Oh!
Yeah.
You don't really have a way out of that. And I don't really hate that you were here either, so.
No, I mean, my mind was putting out the high ground, so I thought that this was a good place to go.
Yeah.
We had no deflect, no stun, no damage on him.
Yep.
Can't be attitude positive, là. Over here. Group up with me.
That was, yeah, that felt bad.
Yep. Yep.
I hate that we're running Genji Echo into the McCree soldier.
I know, but you can't focus on it.
Yeah.
Group up with me.
Easy to save him. Yep.
Merci.
You know I don't like that shift.
Merci.
Yeah, but they were mostly dead, right?
It's true.
Regen burst activated.
Don't really need to let yourself get caught by that, but okay.
I don't think where could I have gone?
All better.
I guess I could have jumped.
Up, yeah.
Yeah.
Ultimate is charged.
What
And
is the
again-
hitbox on that? Do you know?
It does have an upwards limit. If you're in the sky, it won't bother you. If you're just jumping, it'll bother you. But if you're actually BAP jumping, you'll be fine.
Okay.
When making progress.
Oh boy.
10 seconds remaining.
Let them up.
Yep, right idea. I'm not convinced I'd have been willing to give up this window at all.
Let them up.
Like, here you... Okay, so here you are.
10 seconds remaining.
Let them up.
You do this. Shoots back at you. Great, you're fine. You're totally fine. You have 140 health. The Zarya comes. It's cool. And you're worried that the Zarya's going to follow you? Yeah. Okay, I'll live.
I
Like,
only have 120 health and no regen there.
so grab the Mega and hop right back up.
Yeah. My thinking was it's the same way I deal with monkeys on Mercy.
Mm-hmm.
Start on high ground, they jump on you, fall down, super jump back up. That's what I was thinking here.
Okay.
So like
Okay.
I was thinking like I can keep her out of the fight if she's chasing me, and I can keep contributing here
Okay,
by doing
I can live with that. It's just now I know that you're not going to get any window value because, like, by going this long runaround thing, plus you didn't actually make it back up there. Again, this Mega existed, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I should. The right move would have been go for Mega.
Okay, you've got that. You've got to get some pressure on them. Nope, that's too many heal shots in a row. That's too many heal shots in a row. Okay. Now the Mega gets its visit.
I'm at fighting here. Regen burst
Sure.
activated.
Огонь по готовности.
Ooh! Ooh! Okay. Rough game. Rough game. I get it.
I felt like I did most of what I could do in this game. I don't.
You did.
That was.
You did. You did do most of what you could do in this game. Now, that's not to say that there's not tons of stuff that you can't do better, but like this wasn't a thing where, oh, well, if you just done this, that was going to unlock this game, and you were definitely going to win this game. Especially in the first round, you guys were in trouble. You guys were kind of just getting rolled over. Yes, they only finished with 3 seconds left, but that was going to be tough. For you to win this game, you were going to have to get more pressure on the opponents. You were going to have to get, find ways to get more damaging shots to force people out faster. Like when this Zarya is
More
just
shots.
hit more shots. You just hit more shots. There you go. Just hit more shots. No. But you were going to need to get these guys out faster. It's not just a hit more shots thing. It's the Zarya, the ball, they're bullying you too hard, and they did it both rounds. Where like they come over and bully you, and you're BAP. You're pretty durable. You've got a shift that's pretty good. 150 health from your shift. You've got a lamp if you need it. You had an Ana with you. Not this time, but the time that we were talking about on first point defense, where they're really staying in too long. And if we want to rewatch this fight,
Merci.
that's not what I want.
temporary
What am I doing?
Merci.
Okay, so here you are. Maybe I rewind too far.
Regen burst activated. My ultimate is charging.
Okay, there's damage on the ball we're missing there.
30 seconds.
There's more damage on the ball we're not getting.
I
Get-
didn't realize that my Moira was up there with my Ryan.
Yep.
So I started to see him lose health, and I was thinking he'd back up in a second.
Yep.
And that he would need me. So
Sure.
yeah, that was.
Sure. Ball goes down, which is helpful. Sure. We wait this out.
My Echo flies into it.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
We go here.
Let them
Get
up.
our window off, which is fine. We missed our first shot. We hit half of that shot. We don't hit anything on that shot. The Zarya's going to come through, which is okay. If we'd really thought about it, how would we have adjusted this window?
Well, I didn't expect the Zarya there at first. I thought the window was pretty good, given that I was thinking I was uncontested.
Yep. But you weren't, because this is a direction that their spawns were coming from, and you knew that they had people that were coming from this direction earlier. So in general,
Okay.
you do want to be thinking about, can I make my window affect multiple lanes? And if you drop your window a little further to the right, you can have your window still give you everything you want over here, but go a little more here. Like right now, your window is threatening there and there, which has some value, but you could have potentially, especially if you remembered the Zarya, been like, I'm putting my window through this wall, and then you can come out here and fight Zarya and still have your window while fighting her out here, right? Like that becomes an
Yeah.
option. So that's one thing. You don't have your shift, which is a little unfortunate. And you're playing Ring Around the Rosie, like, oh, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared.
I'm keeping tabs on you.
Okay. And again, hey, that Zarya's left now. Can we get more damage on the opposing team? No, there's a heal. There's Zarya. Yeah, she's just getting to get in on you too cheaply.
I'm at the fighting.
And it's because you're distracted by what's going on there, which of course is totally understandable.
Огонь по готовности.
Yeah, I'm being too picky.
It was yeah, that was a lot to think about.
Yeah, no, it was a tough one. Like no question that this was a tough game here. We've talked about your shifts before. Your shifts aren't a serious contributor to this game. You do need to get into a situation where you can go, hey, I need to make sure that these people, we talked, the big concept for you as a takeaway for this is understanding what your aggression cycles look like against widows. And by aggression cycles, I mean, hey, the widow, there are moments that the widow will be tied up, and then I'm going to have to get as much value as I can against that. So, like, I set up where the widow can see my team. Great. That's annoying. But the widow can't see me because I'm maybe playing at a 90-degree angle to my team, even though that's not my favored bat position. And then when I know something is going to tie up the widow, that's when I open my angle. And we talked about that, and that's unfortunately going to be your biggest takeaway, your biggest like improvement of how to play from this game, because most of this game was, okay, things are going to go wrong. That's okay. I play Overwatch to get better at Overwatch, not to win every individual game. Actually winning this game would have relied a little harder on some of that and then some better target selection. Like, we talked
Mhm.
again on first point where it's like, okay, why are you choosing to do 7 shots in a row against the Echo when there's teammates that you can heal type thing? You didn't then repeat that a lot, so I don't really want to make that a huge point, but we have things like
Mhm.
that where it's like, what are you doing here? Or, like, hey, it's easy to hit the ball and heal your team type stuff. Where we can do this a little bit better with target selection. We can do this a little bit better with improving your weaving, but there's not something in this game where it's like you fundamentally misunderstand how to play. That's not what's going on here. This is just we need to keep stacking some blocks on each other where it's like, okay, we'll make our target selection a little bit better. We'll understand we peek when the widow isn't looking at us. We'll understand that we actually put out pretty darn good damage as BAP, and we'll understand when someone is fighting us. We do actually have a little bit more ability to fight them than I think you realize, to force them to leave quickly than I think you realize, if we're lining up and hitting these shots, if we're making sure that we're trying to hit these headshots on them, etc. So this isn't, I'm sure this game sucked, but it happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. Just one of those really tough games.
Yeah, all good, all good. Sometimes you just go next, and you do want to see what value can I get from this game. And again, okay, well, you have a new way to think about how you play into Widowmakers right now. You know that you can fight people that come after you a little bit harder than I think you are, especially when you have your lamp there. It's a, hey, Zarya shouldn't be able to bully me like this. I can put my lamp down and actually take a Zarya down pretty quickly, actually take a Hammond down pretty quickly, etc. And I think you're running a little more scared than you necessarily should be in some of these situations, when you should be able to go, I'm going to have to be running from you forever, when I could, you don't need to hard fight them. You're a support. You can still run away. But there's a reason that BAP is not chased as hard, not gone after as much. And it's because he's kind of a pain to take down. He's got a lot of offensive power and a lot of sustain.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. To answer, I saw Blah was asking about Valk in the chat. Regen's a passive, and hack doesn't affect passives. So she can, same with her flying in Valk. So those stay active. It's just Mercy can't res or use Guardian Angel when in Valk. But yeah.
Okay. Okay. Do we have
So
more here? I think our bot player would have done better if he killed their support rather than 1v1 their DPS. The Mercy res undoes too much of the effort. Yeah, there definitely could have been some more pressure on, like, if I wanted to get into target selection, there could be more times when, hey, he was shooting at people that the Mercy was on. He was shooting at the McCree that the Mercy was on. He was shooting at the Echo that the Mercy was on. He was shooting at the Zarya the Mercy was on when the Mercy was available. I wasn't trying to go too hard after that, because it really most of the time is, for BAP, more pressure is just better. Yes, you can make the targets better for the BAP, but as I sort of said earlier in the video, usually that's not something that I actually want the BAP player spending a ton of brain power on, because getting the weaving right is so hard. Like, and I didn't go heavy into this because I know we've talked about weaving before, and it's not like your weaving is bad, but there were definitely places in this video for you to upgrade your weaving. I pointed out the one particularly bad one where you did 7 shots in a row, but there's definitely places where you can get a double weave, a triple weave that you're not type situation.
okay. Well, I had a game on Blizzard World last night where I popped off and I got 2 window kills during an overtime situation. And it kind of made me realize, like, oh wait, don't just right, left, right, left, right, left autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
Because I kind of developed that habit while learning how to weave,
Okay.
and a lot of my shots were like shooting the wall because
Oh, no,
that's
no, no.
just
You actually have to be aiming the shots. Yeah.
yeah. And so, well, after I like got those 2 kills, I was like, wait, I need to like actually think, actually like aim and try
Yes.
and hit people.
Yes. You absolutely have to aim and try to eliminate people. And then we did talk about your movement there. Like we talked a little bit about, oh, hey, your movement against hit scan, etc. Okay, so you did see that in a Blizzard world, and you're saying the epiphany happened for you after you got a couple eliminations, sort of by accident. Is that what I'm getting from that?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay. I'm glad you got there.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry if that wasn't
yeah.
clear before. Okay, okay.
So
Um, Okay. So again, if we just sort of sum up our takeaways, we're mostly looking at how to play into the Widows. You have to play it differently than you would against a team that can't put pressure into you. You have to find even though you want to have a constant pressure uptime, you just can't in some matchups. So you take the pressure uptimes that are there and you position more at a defensive angle. You understand what your strafing looks like a little bit more to try to make that a bit better when you do get stuck. And then we talked about some of the challenging of people that come in to get you as well as that. Let's see if chat has anything else interesting here. 1 to 2 steps of difference will help take less damage and some better weaving. Yeah, always. I mean, more pressure on the enemy team means your team takes less pressure, including you. Um, Anything else here?
I do try and go for those Kangax, and I'm getting better. Like I'm getting better at hitting those mid-air directs. So yeah, that is something I'm going for.
Okay. Okay. I'm not seeing anything else here that I think we need to
Yeah.
respond to. Do you have any more questions or anything else you want to cover here?
No, my next one I'll probably like record a video with audio, and
Okay.
maybe you can help me out with comms and just the way I'm thinking
Sure. Sure.
during a game.
That works. Okay. Then
So
that's going to do